from the MCPLive.tv studios, located in downtown Conroe. It's the Conroe Art League, live.
Hello, and welcome to Cal Live. We're the show that tells you what you need to know about the Conroe Art League and its artists. We're here to introduce you one by one to all the Cal members so that you can learn more about them, their story, and about the beautiful work that they create. My name is Marilyn Lowry, and I'm delighted to be your host today. I've been a longtime member of the Conroe Art League, and my guest today is Carol Scheferman. And I'm so glad that you're here, Carol, and I look forward to learning more about you and about your gorgeous work that you do.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you. Well, let's start out talking a little bit about your background and kind of how you got into all the art, things that you've done in your life that have kind of led you on this journey that's gotten you this far. So where are you from? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Wisconsin.
Okay.
So I'm from a German background and went to college there in Wisconsin at Ripon College, a small private art school. Well, liberal arts school.
Okay.
Liberal arts.
Okay.
I met my husband there, my college sweetheart,
Oh.
and he took me away to see the world. Joined
Wow.
the Marine Corps. Took me 27 years of traveling around the world.
Fantastic.
Yes, I'm a very proud military wife.
Oh, I know you are.
So-
And gosh, what a gift to be able to join him on all of those
Yes,
trips.
yes.
And yes.
Some he had to go into combat, so I couldn't join him for that.
No, not
I was
that.
happy about that.
Yes, indeed.
And then after the Marine Corps, after 27 years, he worked in the international field, a whole nother career. And he took me along on all those most of those trips.
Wow.
A lot of different countries, a lot of places. So.
Oh, that's fabulous. Now, so you must have a whole lot of photographs of a lot of places and all that material for all your paintings you can do?
Yes. Oh, so many photos. I have 47,000 photos on my iPhone now.
Oh,
So-
I can't imagine it hasn't crashed.
It better not.
That's awesome. My goodness, that's great. Well, think about all the things you can do with those.
Yes. Well, that's actually how I started in art, because I took so many photos, and many of them portraits, because my heart's in portraits,
Right.
that I decided one day, why don't I paint them? Why don't I try to paint them?
Well, wonderful.
Yeah. So then I did that.
Well, you told me that that you took photographs in the embassy. Tell us a little bit about
Right.
that story.
Well, my husband was a defense attaché in the Dominican Republic for 3.5 years.
Wow.
And part of his job was to meet the people from various embassies and in the country, and
Oh, wow.
to take photos of a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
So I would go into their dark room and I take a lot of photos, but I developed them too.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was quite an honor because
Oh,
I
I
got to
did.
meet so many families.
Oh, you did. And you said that you guys entertained a lot when you was over at the embassy.
Yes. Oh,
Wow.
many different countries from all the different embassies.
Oh,
Yeah,
what a wonderful experience.
it was.
I just, that's great. I would love to just visit those memories and sit there and think about all of the things that you've done. That must be great. And you said, did you tell me that you went to school to study photography at some point, or
To study art.
well?
I went to community colleges to study. I studied portraiture. For photography.
Yes.
But then after that, I decided to go to community colleges to study painting.
Okay.
So I did that.
All
and
right.
many workshops.
Okay. Now,
Many,
did you do
many.
that when you were overseas, or was that when you got back
No,
to the States?
Back. We would go overseas, come back.
Uh-huh.
We'd go overseas and come back.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you had a home. Where were you living then?
Well, where did we live? Many years. We lived in California,
Mhm.
at Southern California, San Francisco. We lived in Ohio. Oh
Wow.
my gosh, we lived a lot of places.
You have been around the world and then some.
Well, my husband, for example, my husband's over 2 million miles he's flown. I haven't flown that many, but I've gone with him on a lot of trips.
Maybe
And we
close
just
to
came back
half.
from Budapest and from Zurich. So
Like-
if he goes somewhere, I go with him.
I do not blame you for that. I am a travel bug myself every chance, and I'm just champing at the bit to get out after all this pandemic stuff. I'm ready. So, but that is just great. I'm glad you were able to do all of that. And I remember, because I know you've been docent coordinator before
Yes.
with Cal, and I remember there were times when somebody would say, well, Carol is not going to be here now. She's gone out of
Yes.
town. And I'm like, gosh, that lady travels.
Yeah.
That is so wonderful that you've got that opportunity to do that.
Yeah, lots of fun.
Oh, it is. And knowing about different cultures and just seeing how life is in other parts of the world, it's just so, it makes you appreciate what you have a lot here, but then it also makes you so much more sensitive to the things that other people deal with, and how their lives are so different in so many
I
ways.
agree with you 100%. Yeah, it's one thing to just travel. It's another thing to live in a culture
Yes, it
2-3
is.
years.
Yes.
You learn a lot.
Yes. Do you have a favorite place that you've been?
Australia, I love. We lived there a year.
Wow.
I love Australia and Spain. Our son was born in Spain. So I
Oh,
love
I
the
love-
Latin.
Oh, I love that
Yeah.
too. Yeah, I've been to Spain several times. I haven't ever been to Australia, but I'd like to go because I just love the animals they have over there. I just want to see all those animals that you can't see anywhere but in the zoo. That's great. That's great. Well, okay, so you started painting, and did you start with portraits, or did you start?
No, I started actually with watercolor.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I started with watercolors, doing a lot of florals,
Okay.
some landscapes.
Uh-huh.
I took classes to learn watercolor.
Uh-huh.
And then from there, I went to, let's see, what did I do next? Oh, I went to acrylics
Okay.
for a while.
Right.
And then I graduated, I'd say, to oil.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
But do you know, to this day, I consider watercolor the most difficult.
I
the
think it
most
is.
difficult,
I think
yes.
it is. I think it's the least forgiving.
Yes.
A lot of artists that do watercolor will disagree with me on that, but I've always kind of shied away from it. I've done some water media with watercolor, but most of the water stuff I do is with acrylics. So, but oils are it's like a world of their own too. They're just so beautiful.
Yes.
Especially
For me,
portraits.
oils are perfect for portraiture.
Exactly.
You take your time, you have to be pretty exact in
Yes,
portraits.
you do.
And so you paint very slowly.
Right.
Yeah.
Use that left
but
brain.
it's very rich. The
Oh,
colors
yes.
are rich.
Oh, they really are. And so smooth. Yeah, I love that too. It's just beautiful. But you told me that you exercise both sides of your brain. I remember that because you said you use that left side a lot for all the detail work you do in
Yes.
portraiture. But then you also get to that right side. Tell me about
Right.
that.
After the work of portraiture, I
Yes.
just wanted to take a little break and just have lighthearted fun.
Yeah.
So I started with acrylics,
Mhm.
doing abstracts.
I love it.
Bright colors,
Yeah.
fun, joyous.
Yes.
Put music on, just get into your right brain, not worry about what you're doing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And do you switch back and forth now, or are you just...
Well, yesterday I worked on 3 acrylic paintings,
Uh-huh.
and tomorrow I'm going to finish up an oil portrait, a double portrait.
Wow.
Yeah. So I go back and forth, but it does take a little while to transition.
I'll bet it does.
It does.
I'll bet it does because it's so different.
Mhm.
Well, I've seen your, I didn't see your portraits right at first, but I remember just loving your abstracts. I love abstracts anyway. But, and you work large in a lot of your
Yes,
pieces.
yes.
Very large acrylic pieces. And,
Right.
so, yeah.
I'm working on some abstracts now for charities.
Oh, cool.
I donate to CASA. I don't know if you know CASA.
I do.
And also to Habitat for Humanity.
That's wonderful.
So they auction those off. I've done that. I think I've given like 10 paintings so far.
Oh,
yeah.
Carol,
I
that
love
is
that.
just,
I love
that is wonderful. And giving to people that really love it. I know. They
Hopefully
do.
they make a lot of money and support these
Yes.
charities.
'Cause those are great charities. Those are two of my very favorite ones too. I've been involved with Habitat for Humanity for many, many years.
Wonderful.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Now you told me that you had instruction at Cal, that you, and before that at Wall, I think too.
Right.
And which is the Woodlands Art League, and Cal, of course, is Conroe Art League. And you gave a lot of credit to one of your instructors.
Absolutely.
So tell me about that.
Yes. Juan Cantavella really has had an influence on me. I've studied with him at his studio for about 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've had, I think, over 70 private lessons with him.
Wow.
And he is very precise.
Oh, yes.
But he is such a good instructor, and I learned so much from him, not just painting, but from him.
Tell me about that.
He is a real gentleman. He is just wonderful.
He's such
I
a
can't say
kind
enough.
man.
Yeah.
Such a kind man. I just,
and a humble man.
yes, he is.
is.
For somebody that is so talented.
Mhm.
And he has actually, right now, we have a contest that goes on in which Juan started, and he was giving contributed money to the artists that won the contest every month. People got a chance to vote for the People's Choice, and each one of those artists got awarded $400.
Wow, very generous.
Very generous man. And then after a while, some other people have picked it up now, and when they picked it up, they decided they wanted to call it the Juan Cantavella
Oh.
Award. So now when it's given out to the artists, and we do it pretty much every month, I think they're kind of doing it quarterly a little bit more now. But when they do win this, it's Juan that started the whole idea, and what a generous, kind man.
Yeah,
And
that's an honor.
oh, it
to him.
is.
Yes.
And he is just so happy about that, and such a wonderful man. And oh my gosh, his talent is incredible.
Yeah.
I know you have learned a lot from him. He does teach a class on Fridays, I know, at the gallery now, and he has a live model.
Mhm.
And so people who paint and want a model that's going to be seated for a long period of time, they take breaks. And so if anybody's looking for that, it's a good time to go as well. And of course, like you said, he does individual lessons.
Mhm.
And if anybody just wants to draw, but they want to draw a model that moves around a lot more, and some of our models don't want to sit that long, we have another drawing group that I'm working with on Wednesday, every 2 Wednesdays a month. And we also have a live model, and they do shorter poses. So there's a lot of action that you get a chance to draw. So that's fun too. But Juan is a wonderful guy, and I'm so glad you've had that experience with him. I know it's it's contributed much to all of your art as well as you as a person.
Mhm.
Yes. So now you also told me that you were going to some classes over at Woodlands Art League in the community center. You were showing some of your work there. Is that right?
Yes, I have 4 pieces there now.
Mm-hmm. Great.
And I enjoy that now they don't put it up each month. They put it up, I think, for 3 months at a time.
Okay,
But
right.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
I enjoy putting it there. And I used to put it up at the Phoenix, University of Phoenix.
Oh,
along
right.
the 45
Right.
every month. I did a little research before I came,
Uh-huh.
and I realized that I put up art for 120 individual months
Wow.
since the past 10 years.
Oh, my goodness.
Some years, every month at one place, every month, at another place. 120 months.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were talking about all of your work that you put up in the Woodlands and all over it, all that time that you've had work up. So you're doing great, and you're a very prolific artist from all of that. You've had a lot of work that you've
I
had to put
enjoy
up.
it. I enjoy it.
I can tell you do. I
was
tell.
very fortunate in that when we moved here to the Woodlands,
Uh-huh.
my husband said, "I'll build you a studio."
Oh, this is great.
So
Yes.
so we found the house that we wanted. It had a big backyard, and he said, "I'm going to put your studio there." So I have no excuses. I have to use it.
You do. It sounds like you have a wonderful husband.
Yeah.
He took you everywhere, and you traveled all over, and then he built you an art studio. Oh, wow. He's going to have to go fight a lot of husbands when they start hearing about all the stuff he did. That's great. So you have your own studio, and you have, didn't you tell me you designed it?
Yes.
So
Yes.
you could put anything anywhere you wanted? And,
Yes, exactly.
Uh-huh.
But for me, portraits are something where you I don't know, you just learn what a person's about.
Yes.
I mean, it's almost like seeing into someone's soul when you do their portrait.
It is.
I work on them 25 hours. A lot
Wow.
of times I use a photo reference.
Mhm.
So I feel like I'm getting to know that person. And I want to show them to their advantage.
Yes.
In some cases, maybe the photo wasn't caught at the right time, but I try to work with it to show the beauty of each person.
There's really a lot to say about that. I know you really have a connection with that person when you paint them.
Exactly.
I have felt that too, even in our live drawing sketching. The more I draw someone and the more time I spend with them, the better pictures I can do because I know them better. I know, and to talk to them, to maybe just if you have met them before,
Right.
just to kind of know more about them. It's wonderful. Yeah, that's good. And so I'm glad that you're having the opportunity to do more of that now. So I know you have collectors. I know you've sold work.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about some of that.
Well, actually, I sold my first abstract at Cal.
Uh-huh. I
And
remember
then
that.
just lately, I've sold another one in January,
Uh-huh.
but it was a figurative with an abstract. I think we'll be looking at it in a
Oh,
little
good,
while.
good.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at those in
And
just a minute.
portraits, for me, I've been doing them for friends and family, and I obviously don't sell those, I give those.
Sure.
Although I've been recently asked to do some commissions.
All right,
So,
good for you.
yeah.
Well, I remember you saying too that the portraits that you're doing with your family are kind of your way to leave a legacy
Yes.
to the folks
Yes.
in your family,
Yes.
which is a great idea. It's like you say,
Yeah.
they treasure portraits of people that
Yeah.
they're related to or pictures of themselves. So
Yeah.
great. That is wonderful. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what you've done with these groups. I remember you said you worked with the wives group when you were traveling with your husband, but you have also not only been an artist, but you have been very involved in the different art groups that you
Yes.
belong to.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about those experiences.
Well, in the art groups, as docent coordinator,
Yes.
I found that it's a difficult job.
Yes,
and
it
I
is.
respect anyone that can do that job for several years, because it's very difficult.
It's demanding.
It is demanding.
Yes, it is.
And I also worked with the Woodlands Art League when they were on the Sawdust address, and I would hang the art in the gallery.
Oh, isn't that fun?
And that was fun. That's a fun job.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And also I was secretary at Woodlands Art League.
I remember
So.
you saying that too. And so now you've had some awards that you've won that I know you were very proud of. Can you tell me a little about those?
Well, I've won many ribbons in a lot of these shows that I've been in.
I'll bet you have.
Yeah, and I love joining the LSAG show.
Okay, good.
So what I like to do is go to many of the Art League shows, not just the Woodlands or Conroe, but I like to travel around to the different shows, which
That's
is why I
amazing.
ended up going to 50 different shows.
Wow,
So,
that's
yeah.
amazing. But you know, it's really good, and it's interesting to meet the other artists that are from the other art leagues too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And once a year I'll see them again.
Yeah, that's really fun. And LSAG, for any of our watchers that don't know what that is, that's the Lone Star Art Guild, and they are a group of different art leagues that are throughout the state of Texas, and they come together once a year and have those that have received awards like first, second, third place, first honorable mention, I believe. Any of them that have received ribbons for those in any of the shows, for any of the leagues that participate in LSAG, they get to go and participate in LSAG's annual, conference and show that they have there. And a lot of people win awards there too.
Yes, yes.
So it's a lot of fun. And when I was first deciding what art league I was going to join, I visited a lot of the different art leagues too. So it's always wonderful to connect with them. And then when you can, and because you're a member of the Lone Star Art Guild, which is our membership at Cal is a part of that, then that means that you can go to any of the other leagues when they have their competitions,
Right.
like you were saying.
Right.
And so it gives you an opportunity to show in a lot of different places and get your work out there so other people can see in different parts of the area. So that's really good. So you told me a little bit about your granddaughter. You were saying something about that. Tell me about what you and your granddaughter have going on.
Well, she's 7 years old, and since she's been a baby, I've been taking her photos and I've been painting her over and over and over.
Wow.
But
wow.
now she's learning to be a little artist.
Isn't
So
that
she comes
exciting?
out to the studio with me and she paints,
Aw.
and I let her get all messy, and she's very creative, very creative.
Kids are.
Yeah, but her mother, our daughter-in-law, she's an artist too. She's an abstract artist.
Wow.
Yes, so the whole family's into art.
I
And
know.
you know what? My husband finally told me he would like to come out to the studio with our son. The four of us, actually, the five of us, all paint together.
Oh my
So
goodness,
that
wouldn't
will be
that be
fun.
fun?
Yes.
A whole family activity together. What a wonderful thing to do. I think you've been inspirational if you've invited all of these people to join you. And look, now your husband's even in the middle of it. He doesn't want to be left out.
Right.
And everybody else is doing it. So I think that's just super. And I think it's wonderful that you're allowing your granddaughter to get messy.
Yes. Yes, she's allowed.
That's a good thing to do. Good thing. All right, well, I tell you what, why don't we take a look at your work?
Okay.
And you can tell me a little bit about, oh, this is fantastic. Talk about portraits. Oh, tell me who this young man is.
Well, this young man I've never met, but his father was a good friend.
Okay.
And on his father's Facebook page, he's a National Geographic photographer, a good friend.
Oh, wow.
He had his son's photo on there.
Uh-huh.
I saw it, and I texted him, and I said, would you mind if I paint your little boy? He said, he's not a little boy anymore. He's a grown man, but go for it. So I painted it, and then I mailed it to him in Hawaii.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah.
I'll bet he was thrilled.
I'm sorry.
I'll bet he was thrilled.
Oh, he is thrilled, yes.
Wow. It's just darling. And I bet the young man couldn't believe it. He was probably surprised that you had that picture and you painted it too.
There you go.
What a great idea. Okay, and can we have a look at the next piece? Oh, tell us about this. That's colorful.
Well, this started, this series that I'm doing started while, I was staying home with, because of the pandemic.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to look at life in a different way and think about my past and all my traveling. And I thought, why not do a series that shows the beauty of different cultures?
That's great.
So I painted, I think, around 8 different ones. And for me, they all have a certain emotion.
They do.
Of longing, of belonging.
Uh-huh.
So this is one of those. This is acrylic.
It's beautiful. Really, I love the colors in that. The color combination is just very striking.
And this is from imagination. It's not
Oh,
from
really?
a photo. Or
Oh, wow. You captured that well from imagination. Okay, and what else do we have? Ah, tell me about this. There's a story there.
So after doing that other series, I
Uh-huh.
decided, well, how about if I combine portraiture or figurative work with my abstracts?
Why not?
Because that way I can paint portrait or a figure and then also add an abstract.
Yeah.
So that's what I decided to do. I put them in a setting of people looking at paintings in a gallery.
Ah.
So this man, I really enjoy this. I titled it Forever 29 because usually you think of older people maybe not enjoying abstract art as much as just classical
Maybe
art.
they're right.
But this man is intrigued by the photo.
He is.
So yes.
I think that's great. I love the combination of the abstract with the portraiture there. I think you'll probably wind up doing more of those. I have a feeling.
Yes, that's my goal now.
That's
well, actually, to add to both of the series, because I did 7 of the figurative with the abstract.
Okay.
So I want to get up to about 10,
Okay.
and the same for the other ones.
Oh, I think that's a great idea. Yeah, it really is.
You have to compose the compositions so
do.
they work,
You do.
but also make them interesting.
You do.
Yes.
There's absolutely. A lot of people think, well, abstract art. It's not that hard. You just slap something on there.
Oh, abstract's hard.
It
You
is.
start with a blank canvas,
That's
nothing
right.
to look at,
That's
no
right.
plein air, no photo,
That's
no live
it.
model.
That's it.
Yes.
And
you
it's
just create.
challenging, yes. And you have to, because you have to learn, all the elements that you need to put into the piece. You've got to not only get your color, but you got to get your values right. You've got to get your light source. You've got to get focal point, but it's tricky because you don't have anything to really look at.
Right.
And it's all coming out of your mind, which, that's challenging. Okay, so tell us about how we can see your art. Where do we go to look at your art?
Oh, well, after all these years,
Mm-hmm.
I finally have a website.
Yay!
Yay! So my website is very easy. It's just carolscheferman.com.
Okay, and
And
that's
that's
S.
Scheferman
Spell
with
it.
1 F.
Yes. Okay, spell it for us.
Uh,
Spell Scheferman for us.
Scheferman is M-A-N.
M-A at one
Dot
N
com.
to .com. All right.
And my work is also on the Conroe Art League featured artist.
Yes, it
on,
is.
on our website.
It is.
And it's also on the Woodlands
Website.
Website, yes.
Great. So you can go to those
Right.
organizations and view your work as well. And you also said that you're a member of
Oh, I just was
Awesome.
accepted into the Oil Painters of America.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm thrilled because I sent in 2 photos of my portraits of my granddaughter.
Oh.
So I was glad.
Oh, congratulations on that. That's a wonderful thing
Yeah,
to
I haven't
belong
joined
to.
any of their competitions yet because I was just accepted.
Exactly. Well, that is wonderful. And you've been a member of FASO, the Fine Arts Organization, is that correct?
FASO, yes, I use their website.
And you also do a newsletter, didn't you
Yes,
say?
and I'm putting out newsletters. I've just started that about a month and a half ago, and I'm up. My numbers are going up.
That's great. That is so good.
Yes.
Well, you're a busy lady, and you have accomplished a lot, and
Well,
you're
thank you,
still
Marilyn.
moving. You are moving on. I mean, with your website and, and selling, and just, I'm so happy for you, Carol. And
Thank you.
it's really great to have had you here today. I really thank you. And in order to see Carol's work, and along as well as the other art from the Conroe Art League, please come and visit us. We're at the Best Little Art Gallery in historic downtown Conroe. We're located at 127 Simonton Street, and we're open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 4. Join us at the gallery where we live by our creed: create, appreciate, and learn. Thanks for being here, and have a great day.